Bruh.
Hey, traders, welcome to episode 812 of the show. You could be doing anything on a Friday, but you're here, and that's freaking awesome. And I guess, a lot of stuff going on in the markets. Not too much has changed. I mean, last night, all this stuff had kind of happened with, the U.S. drone striking a military leader in Iran, someone who was pushing, pretty much insurrection in Iraq at the U.S. Embassy. They got him. And so from there, oil futures pumped and didn't really go too far today. We can go back to it and look here, listen. And at the same time, with that going on, gold also popped. Yeah, I mean, this didn't really go anywhere since last night. Give me a sec. This didn't save. Yeah, futures are just whatever. Right, just this is the exact same price as yesterday. So I mean, of course, it's the weekend, so future markets are closed for the most part. Gold, everything included. That's cool. But that's really what happened. I mean, and gold is going to go up when there's tumult. That's really the chart to look at, more so than oil. By the way, golden cross just happened on crude futures. Here it is, 1552.39. That is pretty much matching, rivaling the highest high we've seen of this whole bull run, August of this year, but it's more so looking left. That's it back here, man. Broke these resistances. Here we are. And really, I know it sounds crazy now, but eventually if gold can get above this resistance area, there's no overhead resistance. I guess you could say there's a little bit at 1650, 1640, not much, but the major overhead resistance is near $1,800. I tweeted about it today. And I want to show you something on another chart that, monitors gold. It's just GLD is the ETF. I want you to see an interesting channel we're in. Look here, listen.
Look here! Look, listen!
All right, we know we broke out. We had a momentum shift breakout, but on GLD, right, anchor point 1 and 2 on the bottom, 3 on the top. As you can see, we up thrusted through it, sold off, held around that 25, no, that's the 75% trend line of the equidistant channel, and we're rallying now, but we're right back at it and no higher. Lots of gaps on this since it follows gold. And when the market's closed, when the stock market's closed, I mean, gold spot price is still open, so that's what the gaps are for there. And yes, extremely overbought. 82 again, very close to the highest high we saw in late June. So very high risk. And something interesting about GLD, we just looked at XAU spot price. That has exceeded those resistance areas, and this hasn't. I mean, this has never even touched the 2011, 2012 lows. There's also a gap fill way up here too. You'd think eventually that'll get filled right here at 1500 on spot price. But what? That's so weird. This is just one. I thought it would be like the SPX. If it's like 3000, that means the SPY would be 300. Figured GLD would be the same, where if gold was 1552, wouldn't GLD be 155.2 or something? That, I guess it's off. But oh well, it's weird. This is very intriguing how in this channel, you're at the top resistance again, very overbought. Something to look at. we want to talk about things, Monero's up 13.74%. Looking stupendous at value areas, like 100% retrace, 90% retrace. Stupid amounts of volume. I mean, volume is at, today on Monero, according to this Bitfinex exchange, this is the highest level of volume Monero's seen since the Great FOMO of 2017. So a huge impulse candle up, but only touching that 50-day moving average again, which we can just never get above since we broke below it back in August. So wedge, whatever, false breakouts over and over and over. Good news. If you plotted an anchor point 1, 2 here, you'd broken out, momentum shift there, but 88% retrace. Like these areas from a low to high, a lot of times where we get more major reversals, it's crypto, so everything's speculative. It's hard to place any kind of fundamental value behind these assets. It's hard to, so that makes it maybe a little bit more erroneous to believe something might retrace at an 88% area. Because, like, hey, oil, right? If it's like hitting like 88%, 100% retraces, well, it serves a purpose in this world. Everyone needs like oil, energy. Not everyone needs Monero or Bitcoin or crypto. Most people don't need it. Most people don't even know it exists. So what's its use case? I mean, Monero's is mainly just privacy. Privacy, sending or transactions of privacy. Security's good too, but if you really are using Monero, it's kind of got a bad connotation, right? Terrorists could use this to trace their, no one traces their tracks. So I don't know how this is going to play out, but you've clearly broken out of something. You could even adjust here. You're breaking out now, right? If you adjust it from this one to this one, the touch points. So either way, breakout and insane amounts of volume that we haven't seen in like 2 years. Bitcoin Cash also up very high amounts, like 14% or something, but could just be given away tomorrow. Be interesting to see. Remember, you can't consider this a double bottom, maybe the shortening of the thrust with a slightly lower low. Hey, we talked about the divergence, right? That bullish divergence there, and it's now playing out. So you'd think that maybe this continues to climb, but maybe we end up selling off again and paint an inverse head and shoulders, kind of like Bitcoin is trying to do right now. And in less than 1 hour, we will have a confirmed bullish engulfing candle, higher low, back testing the 6850 area, which is what we call the back test of the spring. It very well could be. The next move up could still be higher prices, as we've thought about with the dragon. This is just consolidation that is maturing, and seeing a higher low it was like your last resort for Bitcoin to see higher prices. If you didn't bounce off that 6800 area, you're probably going to 6150. Man, higher lows are always good. And guess what? Monero has no higher lows, like Bitcoin just painted one. Today will be bullish or bearish? It's bullish. It's already happened. It's over. It's already impulsing up. Last night we saw it, and we were live when the pump started, and it really hasn't moved but maybe $50-$60 since last night. Now, I know it went up to like $7,401.20 at its highest side, but that was earlier today. More like this morning. It's pulled back, got all the way back to 7,250 at its lowest point, and it's now back to around 7,300. So it's a bullish candle, and we'll get confirmation of that bullish engulfing again in less than an hour. What's up, Marco, dude? What's up, Julia? Pitbull, eSnap. Oh, want to say real quick, a few new patrons joined. I guess in the morning, really, all in the morning. Josh S, Andrew S, and Irwin Coffee. Thank you, 3, for joining the Patreon and showing your support for what I do every day. And that also helps the team joining the Patreon. And, you know, hopefully you take advantage of the educational content in there. If you don't take advantage of the educational content in there, I think you are doing yourself a serious disservice. You're not taking advantage of the wonderful amenity that is offered. All right. Do want to look at GBTC. I've been looking at this on log scale. This is like the Bitcoin trust that you can, hey, you want to be exposed to crypto in your IRA? This is the tool to do it, the asset, GBTC. Log scale. Beautiful, beautiful downtrend. I mean, it's so nice looking. This one actually looked different than the spot price, where there is no inverse head and shoulders here. On this one, it's a double bottom with bullish divergence on the RSI. And there was a critical support that you had to stay above 823 or so from June of 2018. You're back above it for your second time trying to confirm. So of course this will follow spot price, but both of them are doing favorable things for bulls just because a higher low signifies accumulation. Is this real or a deep fake? Follow through price action after a bullish engulfing candle will tell us all we need to know. So we need to wait and see. Gold is certainly in a bullish trend, Crypto San, and oil, I believe, has broken out of a downtrend. A long way to go. But I think all you need to do is look at a downtrend we were in. And I will show you. I had it. All you need to know right here is this in a bullish trend? Almost, but not quite yet. Okay, XLE, which is the, the energy sector. You just had like anchor point 1 and 2 and 3 on the bottom. You have false breakout, double bottomed, rallied, higher low, accumulation, higher low, and back tested the down sloping resistance, the supply line, and regarded it more as a demand line. You've rallied, but a very critical resistance point where you did reverse late December, less like a week ago, right there. That's what it is, 2017 level. So breaking above that, see 64.50. If you break 64.50, which is major resistance, then we're looking at $68. You break 68, good chance you'll see $78. Okay, so it's just one at a time. You got to break one, then another, then the other. So yeah, I mean, you say it's a bullish trend, not necessarily, because we're not making higher highs than our previous highs yet, but this is how it always starts. A geometrical breakout first, and then step 2 after that is overhead resistance breaking, and we haven't really been able to do that yet. Okay, that's energy.
Bruh.
Good to see chat is hyped as always. Okay. What neckline does Bitcoin have to break? My effing camera, dude. I'm so sick of this. I have like the best technology. I just can't get away from just trash problems for streaming. It's so annoying. So what is a neckline? I'll give it to you. Real quick. The neckline, where we are now, it's a moving target, right? Because it's slanted. That neckline, if we move, methodically up to it, 75.39 or so. But 7,400 is just as important, right? I mean, that 7,400 area is ridiculous. We know it's very important. Every time we try to break it, we fail. Never enough demand. But remember, like, not enough demand, but if we sell off after there's not enough demand again, and we make a higher low than the previous low, which we haven't been able to do really since July, where we double bottomed, and we called this was beautiful, bullish engulfing, or not engulfing, but we had divergence here. You remember this was first Vegas trip, was pumping the whole way up. It was beautiful. So 75.39 or so. But 7,400 is most important. Breaking above that, staying above it, and not crapping around. So, all right. It's not a bull trap? Question mark. Well, bull traps. I mean, again, you have to just understand the psychology of a chart, right? I mean, of looking and seeing what lower highs. Hey, look, lower highs, that equals distribution. But now we're making higher lows. And if you understand Wyckoff, I've talked about this a billion times. The spring and the back test of the spring, where we know there's critical support between 6,800 6,850, right? It's plotted, it's been there. We fell, but we didn't really have a candle close below it the first time, wicked below it. Second time we did have a candle close below it, but immediately the next day, bullishly engulfed. All right, the divergence played out perfectly. So we ran up, and after you run up, you create a right collar of the neckline. You have to have two collars to create one neckline. One collar, the first collar always comes after the first move up. Second collar always comes after the second move up, right? First, second, anchor points, touches, right? So the fact that we've sold off again and we've pretty much hit that 68.50 area on the dot, and we're now bullishly engulfing again, right? That's momentum shifting. We have not had many higher lows. We have not at all on Bitcoin. So, sorry, this is in log. And I also did adjust kind of the way Bradford had it, because I do think that if we do break 1 and 2 here, that's the Momo shift breakout. And at the end of the day, we understand that nothing really matters on where we break out or whatever. We have to break above 9,500 to 10,000 if we're ever to reverse this trend on Bitcoin. That's it. It's that simple. So these are patterns. I mean, we're setting up for higher prices if this higher low stays as it is now. If we don't go to lower lows, we don't break below 68.50. This is a very good sign. That's all it means. Accumulation. I have simple moving averages. I have the 50 simple moving average and the 200 simple moving average on this chart right now. Learning an S-load from the articulation of the TA, Benjamin son. Well, that is amazing to hear, and thank you so much for watching and investing in yourself, dudes, because there are just not enough people that care about getting better, investing in themselves, learning something. They just want to be told something. And so, my God, man, giving the fishing poles not happening enough out there, so why not just do it? That's what I'm doing, man. George. So we can, I guess, take a look at Ethereum, I guess. So funny, dude. Oh my God, XRP's up 3%. Everyone lose their minds. That's actually underperforming the whole market for the most part. The whole crypto market, trash. But you'll see, man. You'll see. Okay, so big bullish engulfing candle occurring on Ethereum too. Less than an hour will be a confirmed engulfing. Very nice. All right, where we sprung to the upside because we know 124, 125 was a very critical support. We fell below it, but sprung. And then we back tested the spring. Now we're technically, you can't see it, making even higher lows than before. Late December. That's it. So eventually, if Bitcoin shows accumulation and breaks the upside, Ethereum's going to go with it. It's going to break the heart line, right? This heart line that's been regarded before as resistance. You'll break it and you'll run up to 146. And depending on how high Bitcoin goes, this could eventually see 160. All depends on Bitcoin performance, not Ethereum. Ethereum, dude, is not about Ethereum. It's about Bitcoin. Same with XRP. Not about XRP. But please continue to believe it and keep losing your money. So well below that 50. You know how Bitcoin's testing its 50-day moving average. Still way off. I mean, not way off. 144 is the 50-day moving average on Ethereum. Litecoin, I could bet you it's the same thing, man. Don't even have to look at it, but we will for you. Oh my God, go figure, right? You tweezer bottom engulfed, back tested the spring. You're back testing the spring again, engulfing. You close here, confirm, 42 bucks. Below the 50-day moving. Oh my God, it's like the same chart over and over and over. Very good. You can see $46 to $48 and Bitcoin rallies the upside. One could expect that on Litecoin. Natural gas getting wrecked? I mean, of course. Why would it not get wrecked? Even if you were to trade it with that bullish butterfly, we did not expect it. We thought that would go much lower and could go extremely lower. But fundamentally, natural gas, there is an almost unlimited amount of it out there. So if there's so much supply, sorry, you're just not going to be able to muster demand. What's up, Aaron Morgan? Thanks, man. Glad you have. Please reassure that the S coin you put your life savings in is going to moon. Okay, TK. It will happen. Kappa. Not really. Steven, yeah, barely though. Just barely. I'm talking, you got to be monitoring. You can't be a FOMO moon boy and see it even happening right now. You have to like actually be paying attention to the asset and understand it is kind of really significant if Bitcoin makes a higher low here and stays, and we get follow through price action, because we've got none of that. I'm just done with these trends being lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Where is the higher low, which is the accumulation? Where is that? Maybe we're gonna get it here. That's how it happens all the time. Inverse head and shoulders, right? The left shoulder to the head, that's where the divergence is. That's why the head is created. The rally happens because that bullish divergence, and then the right shoulder normally is bullish convergence. It's exactly what's happening on Bitcoin's RSI. You're an XRP NPC, a non-player character, if you don't know what that is. It means like in a video game, it's like the AI being like, hello, how are you doing? Yeah, a lot of those, dude. What's up, JDR? Okay. So, do we want to look at some stocks? Because, I mean, like, really, you know, okay, I guess we can look at an XRP to make people happy. Which did technically break out. The idea was a falling wedge. Yeah, it's beginning to bullishly engulf. Showing some convergence, almost divergence, because of how close you got to matching that 18-cent area on where the trader settled up that day. Right here. So it's just convergence, but close to divergence. So engulfing, but it's nothing, dude. It's 3.3% up in crypto. Really? And I don't know why. Oh, it's a log scale. My bad. There we go. It's so close to divergence. So if this asset was, the breakout's real, then a 50% retrace is a target for a wedge, and that's going to be around 24.47 cents. If you feel so inclined to trade this, that's the target. Secondary target's 26 cents. Good luck breaking that. TK, I thought it was a bearish engulfing candle. I was a trader once, like you, until it took a bearish engulfing candle to the knee. Isaiah's Bermudez, welcome, dude. Thanks for the sub, man. All right, so it is confirmed. If someone subs or tips, my entire house, every single smart bulb I have, does the disco light or the blinking. So I couldn't imagine someone driving by and someone subbing, because it's like a big party or rave. All right. There you go. That's your XRP, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, gold, oil. Let's look at the S&P. Which whipsaw, I mean, it opened the day down, gapped down, started selling off, and then rallied throughout the day, ran all the way up to fill the gap with the wick. Well, not really the gap. The gap was actually up at 32.58. I just ran up 32.45, and then for the rest of the day sold off 32.35, closed 32.34. And so nothing too crazy here. I mean, I think after some news like that, with like the potential for war and death, 3,500 troops deployed to the Middle East to protect the U.S. Embassy, and that one of our very own is going. And he is definitely in my prayers and hopefully other people's prayers too. I don't want to say too much. I don't even know if that's even weird to say who it is, or that, I don't know. So yeah, that, I mean, when there's 35, how many active military people are there? And 3,500 are going total, and one is in our community. That sucks, dude. So the fact that the day was just so not even down 1%, pretty phenomenal, and is testament to the overwhelming bullishness of this market right now. Well, I mean, Renee, it would make sense in a way. SPX is what? The S&P 500 index. What? Tim Early based on what? Based on what, dude? I mean, you just feel that way. I mean, that's not an argument, and it's not me being rude or mean, but I mean, if you're gonna say something like that and maybe get other people to believe you, and people are gonna read what you say and they'll be like, oh my God, this guy said this. It's like, hey man, well, come up with an argument. Say why, not just, I feel like in the next less than 30 minutes, this thing's gonna violently pull back and close as a doji and not a bullish engulfing candle. It just doesn't make sense. You don't know that. And there's no real way to know that, dude. Yang, that, I mean, talked to me 2 weeks ago when we got in on Halliburton, man. I'm going on 3 weeks now. But as you just saw with energy, XLE, it has broken out, but it's not making higher highs yet. So it's like it could possibly hit that and sell off, and we never see those highs again, and we dump and the downtrend continues. Or we break overhead resistance soon and we rally to the next overhead resistance, break it, back test. And then when you do that consistently a couple times, then we can say we're trending. We're uptrending, not downtrending anymore. Because accumulation is great, but accumulation happens all the time in bear trends. It can. But it's all about the accumulation, and then the demand pushes the price higher above previous peaks. And then we stay above that. What's up, Stygian Man? Of course, we know a recession's coming, certainly, and all the leading indicators really point to it. And watch this really good Real Vision video. God, I don't even know. It's like over an hour. Guy talking about, he does these like quad analysis, and like we're in Q3, which is like Q4 is when inflation increases and demand decreases. It's real bad. And I think Q3, quad 3 is when inflation increases and demand increases. So things start getting real bad in Q4, but it happens like his analysis, it like works every, so he thinks we're in Q3 and the next quad will be Q4, which the way it works for him is like every 6 months there's a new quad. And so he's saying like in the next 6 months, why the 6th month or whatever will be going into Q4, quad 4, which is bad. That's like when things like, you know, this hedge fund guys with his analysis comparing it to 07, he says just like 07, the way we are right now, which of course, and the market can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. So you got, I mean, like if you're a short seller, it's all about being able to anticipate when the cycle is ending of these quads So it's like, hey man, trying to go short on Carvana or He's, well, it's just the cycle wasn't ready yet to be over, so it would continue to climb up and stuff like that. So yeah, it takes a lot of skill to call those tops and to get in. But you know, they're talking about like major tops, not like, oh yeah, it's gonna retrace 38% like we do all the time. That's swing trading. They're talking about like more position and macro and long-term outlook, where you know the market's totally topped and it's going to sell off and it's going to rally and make a lower high and then do that consistently. Okay. Tomcat watched the interview on Real. It's good, right? It was real good. Very complex though, man. It's a little bit more complex than bullish, bearish divergence, right, dude? They, I mean, he's got like a team of like 40 analysts and stuff that are all doing individual sets of research. So yeah, way more complex than what we do here. But it's cool though. You know, he was talking about what are we looking at on these charts, and Tom, and what are we seeing that's bullish, like wheat and gold, you know, the metals, silver, and then he's long like on cattle. And those are like commodities, the cyclicals, right? They're now looking stronger on, and it's like that's the composite operator. People like that are the composite operator that notice the fundamental shift and the need, the demand increase in cattle or livestock or whatever it is, gold, wheat, grains, corn. And they're the ones, when they see that fundamentally with their research, they then start accumulating massive amounts of it at a low level. And that's when that quiet accumulation occurs. And so those downsloping resistances, those channels we talk about, it is the markets are always testing the narrative for what's going to happen right next. So they test those downsloping resistances. Is it time to break out? Is there now more demand? As a composite operator accumulated enough to take out all those sell orders, preventing the price from going higher from other people? Very, very cool. Yeah, here they have good hearts, Tom, dude. Yes, Palladium has been on an absolute tear. I agree. We'll look at CBX. Yeah, we'll look at CBX. And didn't do much today. Hey, macro. I think it's tied to the macro. But yeah, look at that. It did. You know, it opened right at like 122. Opened broken out, but then rallied early this morning to 122 and then sold off all day. Got as low as 120, rallied and closed the day at 121.01. I still think it's okay. I still think it's right there, man. And if it sells off again, just look for a higher low than 115.87. You keep making higher lows. I'm telling you, that's like composite operator stuff. Adding to his position, sees this stuff too. Testing the narrative here. The macro picks up. Chevron could very well eventually break this and we could run up to 127.37. I think that would be the first target on a breakout. Second target's the measured move, which puts you near all-time highs. 133 is also potential reversal area. I mean, look, the peak here at 130. A lot of resistance. Gotta look left. 2014, way back here, all-time highs. Okay. Ticker for wheat is WEAT, I believe, on here. Oh, it's just wheat to the US dollar, but I know there is WEAT, which is an ETF, and that's a way to get exposure to it in your portfolio, unless you're trading like actual Forex, like Wanda or IG or something. Wheat, by the way. Wheat. Composite operator, the Jesus man. Been in a downtrend, but now the composite man making his higher lows. Higher lows, higher lows. Sell wall. Very tough to break. And yes, it's like lots of resistance all the way up, man, on this. But you'd think this is what's happening. Momentum shifting.
Is that a joint?
Back testing the disco house.
That's right, Batson dudes. Back test it. Yeah, it works. I mean, I was like in my kitchen and someone subbed while my app was on, and it was just like my whole house was like freaking out. So thank you, dude, for the 420. All right, so grains. Sugar is also up today too. Platinum, something I don't think we talked about last night, but I discovered when someone asked me about, hey, coffee, and was like, can you look at platinum? Like, sure, dude. Look here, listen, dude. Look here, listen on platinum. Broken out, dude. 1200 to 1469 is the common retrace area from the height of the structure that we broke out of. Double bottom, slightly lower low, double bottom, shortening of the thrust, and then accumulation. You can very, very well see the higher lows. So I do think, yeah, potential reversal areas, 1028, very real resistance. Look how many times we could not break it. That will be tested. Eventually, if you can break that, you should see 1200 pretty fast. Platinum, man. This is Precious Metals TA with Mitch Ray. Welcome.
Bruh.
Can't say you weren't warned on this. Hello, we're here on a Friday. No, XRP is actually not doing things. It's not doing things at all. It's Bitcoin's doing things, and XRP is, you know, a slave to Bitcoin. So it's not like they're trying to start an IPO. It's pretty known now. If you own XRP, you are not investing in Ripple. It's known now. It's a thing. So what are you investing in if you own XRP? You're not investing in anything. You own a utility token that the banks use, and when they use it, they then dump it when they're done.
Bruh.
Revelation. A day's labor for a cup of grain, 3 liters of barley will cost you a day's wages too.
Please, sir, could I have some grains, man? Thanks for 1337, dude. F this, man. It's Friday. We were chill last night. We weren't chill a couple nights ago, but I'm gonna, I don't know, man, pregame, because I'm doing something tonight. Hold on. This progression will not stand. Cracking. Blue, so this one's for you, dude. All right? This beer is literally devoted to you. Every sip. You won't be offended. Oh, by the way, do y'all not like my shirt? I've only worn this shirt one time in the history of this show. And it's I am a retired person. And I'm 65 plus. And I'm in Florida. That's this shirt. Right? You get it? What are you talking about, Charlie Lee's bags? I think if you hear the word dump, you just ignore it, and then you look at your chart, and it was good that you ignored it, right? Because most people that say pump or dump in here are saying it erroneously and irresponsibly. Baylor in Indiana? You mean Indiana and Tennessee? And Baylor and Georgia? Hey, how in the world did I cover? I had Baylor plus 16 and they pulled it out for me. Now my bookie had Baylor and obviously didn't cover because the normal line was like plus minus 3.5. Right? So I did some jujitsu, betting jujitsu. I know, AKL. I know. But right, you have to be extremely comfortable with your sexuality to wear this shirt. And I'm cool with it, man. I'm cool. The Cracker Barrel dinner at 4:30 shirt, Stay at Home Kings. I like that, man. But I can be in Florida and also So it's not mutually exclusive. It can also be that too. But I have to travel several miles to the Cracker Barrel. What about the Country Kitchen Cafe shirt? What do I think of GE? Well, it double bottomed. It had broken out of a downtrend. Never quite hit an 88% retrace, but it sure as heck hit a 75% retrace. There you go. Ascending. Remember the analysis chat was the ascending triangle. And man, none of this stuff saved. Jeez. All right, a common retrace levels for GE between $16 and $22. That's where it could go in time, and it might take a long time. Remember this? You know, you remember it. Ascending triangle, right? A sell wall with higher lows. And then you broke it, and then you back tested it. When it was once resistance, it became support, and now it's rallying again to its highest level since November of 2018. All right, about to hit from the high point of the structure to the low point that it broke out of, the 236, 23% retrace. So that is a shallow retrace. If there's no demand at all on GE, this could just dumpster fire back down to lower prices. And that would not be weird at all, because the overall trend, we have to look at the weekly to include it all in the chart, is bearish. Right, it's down sloping, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, same low. That's kind of different. So the rally, the common retrace, you'd think we would reverse around here. And it could just be the beginning of like, you know, a cycle where, look at this cycle from 2009, it ran all the way to 2016. What if this is the beginning and the cycle and it starts here and ends way up here in 2024? I mean, that's always a possibility too. So I don't know, the trend's not on your side at all long term, but yeah, in the daily you can see momentum shifted and it broke out, and we made a higher low or in a higher high than the previous high. Now your next major overhead resistance, I think you have to look left. There's not much here. I guess a little bit at 1312, but look, you can see a pivot 2010 and 2011 areas around 1321. I think that GE could easily hit that. So it might be tougher to get to $16, but that's just common. This is where we expect a major reversal to the downside again. One of these areas, okay? That's GE. Arlith, yeah, welcome to crypto. You might be new here. If you're surprised that there's scams in crypto, there's too many, way too many. My God, there was, what was that, Luta man? Are you gonna make me drink to forget on that one? I'll do something for you, Luta, okay?
Bruh.
But don't tell anybody. If I can find it. There it is. All right. Here you go, Luta. This one's for you. All right, man. Since you want to be a king. All right, gold. Wait. Whew. Oh, once it touches your lips, it feels so good, man. Yeah, Jason Garrett got fired, but I think that might have been, people knew about that. People were talking constantly about that, so. I mean, look, you know, people ask about these coins, and it's like, dude, there's not data. It's only been around for less than a year. Yeah, it hit a support, ice line, broke back above it, back tested it, and it ran. Golden cross occurring on Zen to the US dollar. I don't really care, though. I'm never going to trade it. So if you care, cool. But it's already made, like, you know, 50% retrace, so good luck. 50% retrace and climbing. That's great. I mean, sure, there's a demand line, probably like right here or something. Don't break that. Don't break 591. Okay, there's your Zen. It's, again, already at common retrace levels in the midst of the golden zone. 1020 would be the top of the golden zone. So impulse down, you rally. Chances are you'll reverse here to lower prices. That's Zen. It's neckline. I don't mess with that stuff. Not like that. That's right, Busted 1B. Exactly. GF Airplane, I mean, I don't think anyone's doubting you on that. But it's just like, when will it dump? Will it extend another 6 months? Very possible. Did Bitcoin just pump in the last 4 minutes? Viewer spike, Kappa no Kappa? Did they? I mean, probably not. I have to do something. Give me a sec. You hope, Renee. You hope. Yeah, CGC showing higher lows, momentum shifting, potentially inverse head and shoulders. Very good. Now, we already saw value here. We already knew what was going on. This is a bullish Gartley pattern on the marijuana stock, but something more significant, or less significant than this, where we have left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline. Beautiful textbook looking pattern too. Wow, it's not even really barely slanted of a pattern. Ace G, I'm sure, would be pleased with this. Goodness gracious, chat. Do you see this, man? What? Oops. Left shoulder. Head. Right shoulder. And this is a pretty tall pattern. So if this was the break of the upside, it would only make sense since this is the PCZ of the pattern, and eventually we already have targets between the 382 and the 618, between $31 and $41.75. Well, let's just do the measure move for the crowd, man. We do it, and the crowd goes wild. Measure move pitch at the 382, the beginning of the golden zone, the common retrace levels on an asset. This asset is, I mean, this pattern is huge. I mean, this swing low goes back to June of 2017. Most of us weren't even in crypto or gave a crap. All right. So, fantastical. That happens, man. At PCZs, you get bullish patterns. Even better. Adds to the case that reversal is very possible here, okay? Hype in the chat. Seriously, for CGC.
Bruh.
Heck, man, I might even take a small position on this. That's going on. Dang. Holy crap, man. That is not bad at all. And it, like, just developed, too. I mean, it was the divergence, manifested into the right shoulder, and now we're converging on the oscillator. Can't say you weren't warned, even though you were warned already. You're already warned. But now there's even more warning. The market is trying to warn us, it seems like, that there is a move to the upside happening. Asset-backed money, Rad Dog. Well, if you hadn't been accumulating gold in the past couple years, few years, you're doing it wrong, man. Hello. Higher lows since 2016 on gold. Under $55 billion acquired by central banks in 6 years. They are the composite operator on gold. Nice Corax, man. Well, we'll see it play out. 2020. Let's be kings on CGC. Target actually for this small pattern is 382, but for a pattern this large, you'd think that we'd be seeing $36 to $42. But that could take us literally 5 months. So please understand, if the pattern is this size, that plays into the relativity of how long it's going to take for the trade to play out if it does. So if it's that large, talking, what is it, 2.5 years? At 2.5 year large pattern, it could take us 6 months to a year to get to these areas. Do you understand that? So just letting you know, this is position trading, swing trading. This is not day trading. Day trading, you can go to other streams for that. This is just, we like having a life, man. We like doing things besides trading. We love trading and technical analysis, but dang, dudes, we do like going outside. We like working on other things. So this is what fits me. And it fits a lot of you because, you know, a lot of people have their careers and their jobs. So this is just a fun hobby. Been doing it since like 23 or something. It's fun, man. A lot of fun. If you like making money and you just I don't know, man. There's just something about business and corporations and CEOs and just everything that just gets me. That's what really got me. Huh. CGC has the largest market cap. I didn't know that. Thanks for teaching me something, Corax, man. That makes me even more intrigued on this, maybe taking a small position. Because why not, man? I don't have any cannabis in my portfolio, which is probably shame on me, but I guess I saved myself some coin by not being in it for the past, whatever, year. Well, that's probably not going to happen, AKL, dude. And that would, I'd probably be considered a leech if that is the case, dude, right? It wouldn't be my legacy. It'd be Bitcoin's legacy. I don't really care what my legacy is. All I care about is that I am able to help as many people as possible before I'm gone, right? Forever. Spreading the knowledge of the geniuses who spent their life's work researching this stuff. It is my goal and job to perpetuate the research that the masters, partook in the past 100 years. Carly's my boy. Wyckoff. Steve Neeson. Even Bulkowski. Old dirty boy Bulkowski. His legacy will be tarnished forever because of the from boardroom to bedroom. I'm going to make a book called From Bedroom to Boardroom. And it's going to be an inverse sexual book. Someone write that down. Good idea folder. Julia, thank you. Interesting. If you have CGC cannabis, if you have their cannabis in your domicile, is that kind of like you own gold bars, but you own green nugs? And it's like if you bought from them, is it the jar you have of the marijuanas? Is it appreciating in value on the very desk it sits, right? Anyone thought about that? That's like, hey man.
Is that a joint?
Dude, my CGC is up, dude. Look at it, man. I've got it in my vault. Whatever, man. Who knows? I don't think that's how it works. But that'd be like, oh my god, dude, look at my wheat. I have like multiple wheats in my garage. They're appreciating in value right now. I swear. Nope, cannabis can be grown just like tomatoes. It's everywhere. Yeah, dude, I know. You can't yet. The amount of overhead it requires to mine gold is insane, right? To get a high NAV, net asset value, is not easy. But it's still, Luta, I don't care what you say, man. It's still hilarious to think about someone being like doing that, smoking a doobie in a legal state, of course. And like, dude, my CGC's up, dude. I've got like 28 million pounds of it, man. That's right, MCG, exactly. That's what we're going for. Serious when we can. Not serious also when we can. Correct, man. Maybe you're appreciating in value because you're going higher, dude, every time. Edwin, give it time. I mean, I don't even know. I haven't even done enough research to know that, but I think in time that'll be a thing, probably, right? That's how it works, man. Dude, I can go all day. That's how it works, man. Supply and demand. All right, dude. Well, it's time to get rid of the supply so we can create more demand, man.
Is that a joint?
It's too much, dude. Dude, man, the more pot we smoke, dude, the higher weed's gonna go.
Is that a joint?
Is that a joint, man?
Hey King, would you look at TPG, TPM?
Yeah, didn't we look at that? I can't remember. What's up, Monster Hummer, dude? Yeah. No, we didn't look at that. Specialty lending. Huh. Yeah, it looks good, dude. I mean, it looks pretty good. Oh, it's right at the all-time highs. Oh, that's not it. Sorry. Wait, it is it. It's not TPG. Sorry, the ticker TPG. The TPPLC ORD. Is this on the London Stock Exchange? Is that what you're talking about, dude? I need confirmation. Oh my god, look, dude. He tipped and it's supposed to come back blue and it's now not coming back blue. It's bugging out. My whole house is dark now. There are no lights on in my house. Gosh dang, dude. There you go, Alex. That's the way it should be. I have to run to the backyard, shovel in hand, man. Gotta bury my cannabis, dude. Mother of God, Chuck Gray coming in with a fat stat. More than 77,000 legal recreational cannabis transactions occurred on January 1st in Illinois, resulting in sales of nearly $3.2 million. Let's go, dude. $3.2 million that are taxable. The government needs more money. So what the heck's the problem, dude? Let people be free and let the government take their money. Or take their cut. Mission Crypto Girl, I would do that probably if I was in a state that it was legal. Maybe. I don't know, though. I mean, not really accustomed to that stuff, but when in Rome, for fun, for the memes. Telecom Limited. Oh, Australian stock market. Gotcha. Oh, we've looked at this before. Well, I mean, last time we looked at it was this. I don't know, dude. It's been a long time, bro. Probably since the summer. I mean, like, cause, dude, there's no way. I went from high to low here, and this is all I have, right? So it's like you ran up, hit a 50%, you sold off. You're still accumulating, right? There's still higher lows. Is the Momo shifting? It could be. Hold on. Excuse me. Well, I know that's there, but if there's, look, man, what does that mean? If you have a support here and a support here, right? Anchor point and trend line, and you're not even coming close to touching it, though it could come in time. Understand there's even more accumulation now, right? Clear support 604. Pretty freaking clear 736 resistance. Okay, so you're range bound. This asset is range bound in the dead middle. So what does that tell you? That's not really, you know, low risk. That's not really a high risk or low risk situation. Or like, hey, when we're down here again at $6, you know, the time to do it maybe was look from a low to about the same low, divergence, convergence. So, hey, if you're ever able to break 736, it's really just kind of like this range at the top. All right, 720 is 10-cent range, and then your bottom. So, shorting opportunity, long opportunity, range. But the good news is, I guess, right after that dump, if it ever does break 736, which 736 is in fact a 382, you're looking between 779 and 823, where it sells off again. But I mean, so I think this move up was the high to low retrace for dumping. So, all right, if you're gonna trade this, this would be like a range bound trade where you have your alert set up around here, you take your longs and you let it run up You take your profit here, right? That's the best way you can look at TPM for any kind of opportunity. I'm not looking for the long term. I don't know, right? But I do know since December for one effing year we've been range bound, and it's a $1.36 range. So you're looking for low risk, high reward opportunity, and if you're talking about shorts, low risk, high reward opportunity, right? So you're just in the middle, so it's not really value areas at all where we are, okay? Now, you know, I guess you could argue and say high or a low, higher low, higher lows again, ascending triangle or something. Okay, that makes sense because we're showing more elevated levels of accumulation. So it might be a chance you break 724. I mean, a measure move of a range. Pretty nice, right? Pretty nice measure move that could put you all the way up at 842. You'd probably just say 823 to be safe with a 618 golden retrace. All right, so you ever break that, that's your target. It's the 618, okay? That's it. Accumulation going on TPM. So again, there might be a chance if this breaks, we go $8+.
Bruh.
Boom. Gosh dang voice crap. I don't even know. Gosh dang voice crap. Are you talking about...
Are you talking about the gosh dang voice chats? Is what you're saying, MCG?
Or this gosh dang voice chat.
Or this gosh dang voice chat?
Or this gosh dang voice chat, man. Your logo on the 8th. The daily candle has closed. The bullish engulfing candle is confirmed. It's time to move on over to BTC. 1 hour. How is this even real life? It's not real. It's all a dream. So, we know that 75.40, 75.50 is the neckline of this potential pattern that is not yet confirmed at all. Will the war affect crypto? Probably not. Whatever happened to Hex was a scam, still a scam, still no one cares because none of us are participating in it. So if we aren't participating in a scam, why do we care what happens to Hex? Get a candle? Yeah, I need a candle. Since no one will sub and turn my lights back on. Good God. Hello? Ah, get 1 sub per stream now, dude. I'm done with it. No matter what happened. Who cares if we're up 5% on Bitcoin? No subs. F me, dude. There we go. Inverse sexual book in the good ideas folder. Thank you, Julia. Maurice, a fellow Aussie from Chad, has been evacuated to the local beach because of fires. My God, man. Prayers are with you in Australia. It's kind of scuffed, Remlog, on W day. Kind of scuffed, but I like the higher low. I feel like the higher low. It's always possible. I mean, that's not bad, but you know, you normally want those proportionate left shoulder, right shoulders. You don't want a lower shoulder, but even if it's a lower shoulder, it's still a higher low than the head. So accumulation is still very real. What's up, James, dude? Good times will come again. We'll see, Andreas, man. We'll see. Is he, Kevin? That's awesome, dude. And you'll be attending too. So enjoy history. while you can. Thanks for the nearly 400 people tuned in. Just looking at Bitcoin. Well, you're already a sub, so it doesn't count. But thank you for turning my lights back on. Really appreciate that. All my lights in my house. Russia, China won't do anything, Marco. Iran will probably do something, but what can you really do? Like, truly, I mean, like, I think that it is in Iran's government's best interest to go to war. I also think that it is in the media, military, industrial complex best interest to go to war on the US side. So it's very bad when both sides, it's in their best interest or it's in good interest for these countries to go to war. Right? And it's not the US citizens want to go to war or anything like that. Dude, we're just trying to we're trying to prevent a Benghazi. We tried to, that's all we did. But fact is, in the end, we shouldn't even be there. I mean, I know why and it's all happened, but it's a 19-year war. And I was talking about this earlier with Bradford, that wars with uncertain outcomes are the worst. They're terrible. There's no way to really decide victory. That's like World War I. Like 45 million plus people, 30 million people died total in World War I. A treaty was signed and nothing changed at all. Nothing. What was that for? Here we are, 19 years later. What the F was everything for? Yeah, Saddam Hussein was a tyrant, was killing some people. Oh, guess what? Go to China. Go take a look at China. Go look and see what Stalin did, man. Yeah, you know, governments kill their own people. Not much we can do, you know? I mean, like, militarily, it doesn't do anything. You know, you create a generation of people that were born and raised in these areas that end up hating America, and then all we get is an escalation of what 9/11 was. I mean, that can happen, right? If we do this crap, we get deeper, which I don't think we're trying to do, but the Iranian government, it's in their best interest because there's tons of dissent. There's like there's rebels, like people don't like the Iranian government. So they want to go to war because that is how you get hearts and minds on your side. Hey man, this foreign invader is attacking us, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, people will be like, all right, we will put our differences aside to take on the common enemy. So Iran wants that to consolidate the power they already have, but it's kind of like, until they do something like this. So, not a good situation. And it's like, we shouldn't even be there, man. And think about all the people in the 19 years that have, the American troops that have gone through just extreme amounts of trauma, broken. They are broken. Dude, you can't just go somewhere in the Middle East and watch someone die or kill people or something like that and not become broken mentally, spiritually, whatever it is. And those people come back and then they're abandoned in America. It's just like there's nothing good from this stuff. And you know how much it costs, like, per year to upkeep the U.S. Embassy in Iraq? It's like $750 billion or something like that. It's stupid. So it's just, don't get me started, I guess. Right? That's what I'll say. I mean, think about that, dude. It costs almost $1 trillion a year to maintain a U.S. embassy in the middle of the desert. Governments, hello? Americans, do you understand governments don't exist to do that? That's like $750 billion is like more money than we spend on our entire budget for the military every year. We spend $650 billion taxpayer money every year on the military collectively. Yeah, Pablo, Australians have a war with weather. You do. There's a hole in your ozone over there too by New Zealand, which is probably a lot to do with this stuff. I mean, I would think there's some small correlation to a hole in the ozone near New Zealand. No, okay, TK, and I'm not trivializing that. I'm telling you, I'm saying, like, my point was these wars, these pointless wars, ruin so many American people's lives, and they're alive. 750 million. Okay, million. Yes, 750 million to my bad, dude. My bad. 750 million to upkeep, and it's like up to maybe a billion, 0.2 or something like that. It's a range. How you
use it. Comfort for yourself, others, or both. Either way, you came naked and with nothing, but may leave with great works behind you if you try hard. Feed the poor, clothe the cold, and help people. Wars will always be with you.
Yeah, started just rereading it, you know. But either way, rich man, no, it's not what we should be doing, right? That money should be going to infrastructure that's falling apart in America, right? Asfalto, good to know, man. Having the chat.
Is that a joint?
Sorry. Thank you, dude, for joining the Patreon. Welcome. Good to see you. Hope to see you in the Patreon chat in the Discord. You get just I just post all kinds of charts, dude. I mean, there's just it's always been like this since I've had a Patreon. Like, people in the Patreon just don't take advantage of the Discord. I don't know why. It's like I post charts in there all the time. Oh yeah, TK for sure. But thanks to Rich for the correction. You're right, man. Hey, dude. But it doesn't matter. At that point, with that much money, it's the same thing, dude. It's so much. It's too much. Oh, yeah. Lutza, man, I'll do it for you, okay? Let's get lit, man. Let's get lit. It's been such a good week. Oh, my God. Such a good freaking week. Social, man. But you too, Luta. You have to. It's interesting to see local bitcoins in Iran skyrocketing during times of war. What are you implying right now? I mean, it's not skyrocketing right now, is it? Is there a chart for that? What is it? The government wants climate change tax while nuking the atmosphere with their tests. I mean, well, Canada did do that, right? They're like, hey, it's happening, so let's get a carbon tax. Cost of goods will go down, and they've gone up. What's up, Ross Jones? Thanks for the sub, dude. Welcome. Good to see you. I don't know why things aren't reverting back to the blue color. It's like my whole house, every time someone subs like that now, I'm guessing it's like just different colors. They stop everywhere. So it's like a rainbow in my house. What's up, Cryptic Vision? Somewhere says Australia was hotter over 100 years ago. Whether history is not reported honestly, but the numbers are there if people actually look them up instead of just listening to the media. Well, you know, I know that in the U.S., weather really wasn't reported. I mean, like, you know, it wasn't really official until 1951. I think that's the NOAA or whatever. You're there, Lutzaman? Okay, are you sure, dude? I need a spinner chug wheel spin. I think I'm gonna change that. Make it so. Bitcoin went to $25,000 in Iran. What, because of this escalation, Drew? That's interesting, you know? Instead of gold, right? Oh, Ohio won. Oh my God, dude. I thought they would cover or win against Nevada. And so what did they do? They dumped French fries on their coach, who it then indulges in taste and eats it. Wow, the potato bowl, the famous potato bowl. Yeah, Pablo, man, it sucks. Read about that. Really sucks. Yeah, and then World War II, even further back, TK, man. But, you know, there are wars that are necessary, and then there are wars that have very little ability to draw a conclusion because of the premise on which we wage them, right?
Let's get the lighthouse lit.
Bruh.
The lighthouse, man, dude, it's so cool, man. It was so easy too. I was like, let me just. Now it's kind of annoying though when I turn on the app for the first time. It like automatically makes, see, this is a default color. My whole house just turns blue when it's done. So, yes. All right. W Batson, man. Here we go. Here we go. Friday evening. All Fridays Eve. Boom. Done, son. US has good consistent weather records since 1895. All right, so it has to be 1951 for the NOAA, though, I think. Bitcoin is 32,000 in Iran. Get it right, not 25,000. Someone said. Carbon tax is a Rothschild tax scam. Oh, dude, I mean, I completely think that it's fraudulent. I can't believe that who would vote in a carbon tax in Canada. It's like the Canadian citizens literally believe the government. And now the government's like, you believed us. Oh my God. That's what happened. I feel real bad. Canadians getting wrecked, man. They produce 17% of the food for the world. 17% of the world's population of food comes from Canada. Most of it goes to China and the US. And the actual Canadian citizens get the worst of it. So like cost of like food and commodities has gone up in Canada. And yeah, I know there's been a breakout kind of recently on the Canadian dollar, but man, with the US dollar that's been rising, you know, of course it's been losing value. And then you have all this other stuff on top of it. Rising cost of goods and real estate in Canada. Get out of here, man. What China's done, when they were left unchecked and free, the Chinese rich took up so much real estate in Canada. And if you're a citizen up there, you know. What's up, Kateria? Thanks for the sub. Welcome. It was forced. Well, you voted someone in that eventually made it happen. And I think it sucks, man. I'm not defending. I'm just saying, man, like, it happened. I mean, the people that made it happen were those who were elected. Oh, Tyler. Well, Taylor, someone said earlier that's not true at all. Someone said it was hotter 100 years ago or something, right? I don't know, man. I wouldn't be looking at assets like Gush. Gush is a 3-time leveraged ETF, or what we would call an ETN. There's decay on it, so I wouldn't look at it to analyze it. If you're talking about buying Gush, you would look at XLE or something and take your long with Gush. And, you know, you take your profit at your targets of looking at not Gush, but USO or CL, you know, the futures, whatever. Okay, because it's always deteriorating in value because of decay, and that's what you get. That's the catch of a 3-time leveraged asset, is decay over time. Muddy Fun Star. I don't know. I mean, like, I understand what you're saying, but we cannot ignore the massive amount of emissions emitted by the U.S. in the Industrial Revolution and now China.
During the endgame, a cup of wheat will be worth more than a cup of gold. You can eat silver or gold.
Yeah, I guess so. During the endgame, but we won't be alive for the endgame, dude. Most likely not. We're a global economy now, and third world countries or countries that you know, like Iran. I mean, they just have no chance. They can't. If they truly wanted to be stupid and go on tilt, it would be like two buttons. They would get destroyed. We would wreck them. That is how bad the disparity's gotten in military power and might. All right, so, and no one wants that to happen. But Iran is trying to insert its influence in Iraq, and eventually the end game for them is to annex Iraq and make it part of Iran. And really, it's not even about borders. It is their religion. It is the Islamic Republic. They're trying to create a caliphate, kind of like ISIS, but less insane. But that's the whole goal everywhere in the Middle East. They don't believe in borders like the Westerners do. That's not just how it goes. And that's why it's never really worked out very well in the Middle East with having borders. Okay, so that's a wheel spin. That means I need to get another beer, I guess, because this doesn't count as a sip or a gulp or social, right? We'll do it, though. Luta, thank you, dude. So Bitcoin, 7,306. Get wrecked, Luta. Get destroyed, dude. I don't have to open a beer. Awesome. Based on well-established evidence, about 97% of climate scientists have concluded that human-caused climate change is happening. Yes, the emissions during the Industrial Revolution and right now, and we say stop doing it, China, and China says, you had 100 years to do it. We're not listening to you. And we're like, well, we can't do anything because they're nuclear. And it's like, okay, F you, dude. So, Mark Lane. It's Friday, man. I understand. No. MB though. No, you don't understand. Like, what I meant was, right? Yes, I understand he was against ISIS, but dude, ISIS is like, whoa, way out there. But the end goal, like, is having a unified Muslim population throughout all of the world or the Middle East. It's the best case scenario, right? But just not the way ISIS had it, right? The Shiites or whatever. That's Iranians.
It's time to get a chug.
A lot of Iranians. Time to get a chug, Mr. Shepherdman? Well, you know how that works, dude, right? If you want to see me chug, it's like the chance of me getting chugged. You know how it is, man. But, of course, no. I mean, even the Taliban thought that what ISIS was doing, the whole world, ISIS just nuts, dude. Psychotic. Even though they claimed that that's exactly how the Quran was written. Someone that's an expert can tell me better than that. But again, man, unified Muslim republic in the Middle East is the end game. Yes, you cannot have militias overtaking embassies. Exactly. But again, at the end of the day, looking back, 19-year war that's done nothing. Done nothing, really. I mean, we shouldn't even be there, kind of, in a way. So many bro scientists on the internet now. Yeah, dude. What's up, bro? No one wants another war, Andres. I won't support another war. Especially, it's just like, dude, I'll support war if there's a reason, if it's defense. But retaliatory, yeah, everything. I mean, now we're just starting to get political. I don't want to go into it because it starts getting polarized. Opinions start getting polarized, and that's when resentment happens, and that's when people stop taking my word on technical analysis because they heard me say something about something political in the Middle East, right? Where, oh yeah, man, oh God, he's against war. He's against people dying. So, or I won't listen to him anymore. Okay. What's up, Jeff Tube, coming in from Oklahoma? Rest in peace, Sooners. Rest in peace, hard. 2 years in a row. Yes, Slurpee Burger, but again, I know, we all know the insanity of the fundamentalist, but I just don't want to, it's not something we should probably get into here. No, the Taliban and Iran would take over, Herbert, if we just leave. Hold on a sec. I'm at war with the charts, dude. Yeah, man, for sure. I did trim my beard literally today. Yes, I can't even believe you noticed, man. That's insane. So yeah, Bitcoin 72.87, fluctuating a couple $100 throughout the day. Whatever, man. AMD. Oh, sorry. What the heck? Don't worry about that. Doing something. Well, I guess we can go to the weekly, whatever. Okay, so the weekly, 1 and 2 on the bottom, 3 on the top. Now I did it another way where I included all this. But this gives you up more upside potential. It's the newer anchor point. So 1, 2, 3. Like AMD, you could see $54. 1272, 144 is $59. 1618 is, we're talking the 1618 from 2007 levels, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, Burger Man. This is like best to, like, we can brush up on it a little bit and talk about stuff that I think both sides would agree with, but when we start going to like what side, you know, one side agrees, one doesn't, I just can't do it. Can't do it. That's not what it's about here. This channel is about investing in yourself, learning how to trade, learning how to read charts, positivity, good stuff. Ball should be up after the game yesterday. Are you talking about Victory Offices Limited, dude? Ball, that's it. What's the point, dude? Who cares? It's death. Nothing. Chart started in June of 2019, man. What am I supposed to do here? Use fib extensions? Who cares? There's no data. Dude, no. Dude, this is 17,000 volume. Please don't trade this, Sergio, man. If this is what you're asking for, BOL. This is it. Stay away. Stay away. Yes, Reggie's been killing it, man. up 60% since the entry. Let's go, man. Yeah, even today it was up, like highest high of the run or whatever. Still going. 786, I think. Saw it. I was scanning. Ugh. Thanks for the 170 likes, chat. Really appreciate that. Means a lot, man. 16 dislikes. I bet 5 or 6 of those will disappear after the video is done processing. There's some guy, there's some person that comes in. They're just like, oh, I have time on my hands. Better go dislike Mitch's videos. There's someone that just does that. And all their dislikes get erased every time. Oh, Valero energy. Yeah, that's not Vol. Right? VLO. Yeah, we only VLO. Valero energy. Valero looks good, man. Real good. Yeah, back testing an area that was once resistance and support. This is good, man. Look, you dumped higher low than the previous lows. Overall bullish trend. Look, range bound right there. You don't want to fall back below this $90 mark. You do, you might be in trouble. But we had a golden cross November. Look, and it's like a low, about the same low, a little bit high accumulation, bullish consolidation, another rally. Now you're selling off, lower high, selling off again. Actually, a big dump today, near a bearish engulfing. So the fact is, like, the wick's there and the candle low closes here. It closes right at a critical support. You don't want to fall below it, man, at all. If you do, chances are you'll probably come down to 86.62. Bearish convergence is terrible, but if you can stay above this area long enough, we might have another run. Might have another run over here. So this thing retraced like over 50% of the way, almost. It's like 55% retrace from high to low. Pull back, so you know, I guess you can just say it's doing something like this for now, trying to paint some consolidation or something. Right, so just kind of in a down sloping channel or something like that. 200-day moving average down to 86 bucks near the support. So if you can't hold 92 bucks, you're coming down to 86 bucks that quick, that easy. All right, but if you keep making higher lows, no matter where you pivot, as long as you're a higher low than 70 bucks, more accumulation, that's a good thing. In the short term, it does look like you're about to be painting, you're in development of very nice bullish divergence and consolidation. That's good. So if you can, the RSI can pivot and make a higher low than the previous low, we will in fact have divergence in pending price action reversal to the upside. And then you'd be looking for 102 again, and then 104, look left, 618. Then after that, there's no real overhead resistance, so around 118, 120. There you go, Sergio. So Josh B, yeah, for now anyway. Yeah. Okay, guys. Been live an hour 40 minutes. I'm gonna get out of here. It was fun though. I had a good one. Thanks for coming by, stopping by. I think we got you up to date on everything you need to know. Bitcoin, gold, stock market, oil. Very good. So I hope you all enjoy the weekend. I hope you have a good night tonight, whatever you do. And I'll just be back later. So, until next time, respect the TA.